My struggle was sin and self. Symptoms of that were 26 years of different kinds of addiction, whether it be meth, pain pills, weed, just whatever I could snort or smoke or eat to get my hands on, you know.
My name's Kara, and we are Luke's Mission. We are raising awareness for fentanyl and overdose. Behind me is our Kentucky banner of all of our angels that we have recently lost in the past 3 years. This is not all of Kentucky, this is just what all we could get.
I lost my daughter, Macy Smith, 3 years ago to a misclassified fentanyl overdose. It should have been classified as a fentanyl poisoning. This is what fuels my passion to educate others. We must acknowledge that fentanyl's devastating impact extends beyond addiction. My daughter was not an addict. She took...
It's okay, baby. Take your time.
What would you say if I can have you back right here for one day? I'd do anything to see that smile on your face. What would it take for you to stay? Just say we can drink a few beers in that old garage, laugh about the things that I ain't forgot. Yeah. Would you tell me all about them streets of gold? Would you tell me that you know you're finally home? Does anyone have the number to heaven? I need it right now, I just can't help it. I haven't heard your voice in a while. I know it may sound just a little silly, but pick up the phone if you can hear me. I need to make sure you're alright. Does anyone have the number to help on? 'Cause I need it now. I know that you're in a better place, and that's what helps me take the pain away. It doesn't make me selfish, I want you, babe. I can't believe you were gone just like that. Does anyone have the number to heaven? I need it right now, I just can't help it. I haven't heard your voice in a while. I know it may sound just a little silly, but pick up the phone if you can hear me. I need to make sure you're alright. Does anyone have the number to help on? 'Cause I need it now. 'Cause it's been so long, I still can't accept the fact that you are gone. But I need just a little hope, because I can't make it alone down this road. We can drink a few beers in that old garage, laugh about the things that I ain't forgot. Yeah. Would you tell me all about them streets of gold? Would you tell me that you know you're finally home? Does anyone have the number to heaven? I need it right now, I just can't help it. I haven't heard your voice in a while. I know it may sound just a little silly, but pick up the phone if you can hear me. Make sure you're alright. Does anyone have the number to help on? 'Cause I need it now. Does anyone have the number to help on? 'Cause I need it now.
What's up? I'm Aaron. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus. I'd like to start off by saying a prayer if y'all don't care. Hey, Father God, I just come to you right now, Lord. I just give you glory. I give you praise, and I just thank you for the chance to bring unity to the community of recovery and the community of brokenness, Lord. And just right now, I just pray for the ones that are broken, and I pray that we just somebody out here right now needs to hear what I have to say, what you've done in my life to help bring me from brokenness to just the light of seeking you, Lord. Hey, we love you. We praise you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. My struggle with sin and self. Symptoms of that were 26 years of different kinds of addiction, whether it be meth, pain pills, weed, just whatever I could snort or smoke or eat to get my hands on, for about 26 years. And I found myself back in Hopkinsville back in 2019 in a pretty toxic relationship that I was just as bad a part of the toxicity of it. And we had split up, so I ended up squatting in a house that I was supposed to be working on for my stepdad. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I had two black eyes where I was punching myself in the face because I hated myself so much. And looking in the mirror, I told myself I hated myself, and nobody would love me, and I needed to die. And I made plans to do such, but instead I made a call the next morning to Joe Foster and told him I think I needed some kind of help. At this time, I didn't believe in God, didn't want anything to do with God. Really, I just wanted to get my mind clear so I can go back out and get high again. But right then, I was pretty much homeless, I was squatting in an apartment I was supposed to be working on. Didn't have anywhere to go, nowhere to turn. So Foster got me into Redeemed and Restored. And I go in there, and they're singing Jesus music, and I didn't want anything to do with Jesus. I'd like to say I didn't believe in him, but I'm pretty sure I was just mad at him for the choices I made, and I tried to blame my choices on him because my life wasn't going the way I think it should have went. And then I got in there, and the first person... Yeah. First person I saw was Miss Jackie. She's one of the first people that told me Jesus loved me. And I was worthy. And I didn't believe it, right? I still didn't believe it. And I still didn't want nothing to do with Jesus. Then people in there wasn't my buddies. You know what I mean? Really, I just heard through the grapevine, don't know if it was true, but I heard that if you went to rehab, they'd stop you on your child support and wouldn't bring you to jail in any hurry. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let me go give this a try, right? But I get in there, and I think it was around May 2nd. I can't remember. It was the first road that I'd went to on a Tuesday night, and Timmy Hendricks was giving his testimony. And in his testimony, I heard a lot of my story. A lot of how we played the victim. I was making other people the reason for the choices I was making in my life, right? And then he started telling me, I guess God started telling me through his testimony how he can step in and change my life. And then and that night, man, I just tapped out, gave it up to him. And from then on, I wanted this relationship with Christ. All of a sudden, there was this pink cloud that I heard people talking about, and I was way up in the top of. And I was all of a sudden wanting recovery, man. And I was loving being at Redeemed. I was loving the recovery scene. I was loving life. I graduate, man, and fired up for Jesus, fired up for recovery. I began volunteering like the day I graduated. I went back and knocked on the door and said, you ain't supposed to be back in 30 days. I was like, nope, that ain't happening. I'm coming back in today, right now. So they let me come hang out pretty much every day. It was letting me volunteer for 89 days. I was at every recovery through Christ, or 4D, whatever it was called back then, every road, church, But what I wasn't doing was utilizing the tools that I got in that Redeemed on how to stay sober. But I was reaching down in ditches trying to pull people out of a ditch that I still had a foot in. So 89 days in, I'm high again. 3 months after that, I'm sitting in jail with 4 felonies and 5 other charges. A few days after that, it was December of 19, still, I was running the roads about 3 months after getting sober and relapsing. I found myself in my mom's driveway at 3 o'clock in the morning, 15 degrees outside, in a truck with 3 flat tires and a busted windshield, and it was out of gas. I was like, man, what am I doing, right? December 2nd, 2019. So I text Foster on Facebook. He's like, what are you doing? All right, Sam, what are you doing? He said, waiting for you to call. I was like, why? He said, so you can come back. I said, man, I just want a cigarette. He's 40 miles from me. I ain't got no gas. My tires are flat. My windshield's busted. I didn't want no cigarette. I was hoping he'd tell me there was a bed available. Yeah. So he got me a bed. I come back in 3 hours after that conversation, 4 hours, whenever the door opened. And got back in there and just here to get my fire back. 2 weeks and I'm gone. Miss Jackie tells me, no, you're going to long term. I said, no, I'm not. Get my fire back. She goes, yes, you're going to long term. I said, no, I'm not. She said, all right, how about sober living? I said, I'll try sober living. I'll give it 2 weeks. If I don't like it, I'm gone. Well, somebody come in there and suggested a long term that just struck a nerve that God highlighted for me. And that's Hope House in Bowling Green, faith-based, fitness-focused. And I got to go there, spend a year, and figure out who I was. Because I didn't know, right? I've never been sober. I've never been an adult in sobriety of any sort with any kind of mindset of wanting to live this life. I'm sorry, Miss Jackie, I'm probably going to go over 10 minutes. I'm trying to rush through this, but there's a couple of people out here that know that old version of me, right? Well, I go through this long term, and it's about 2 months before graduating, and all these guys are asking me what I'm about to do. I'm like, I don't know, man. I've got a daughter that's living with my sister, 10 years old. I don't know how to raise a girl on my own, right? And all of a sudden, I get this friend request on Facebook. And I'm sitting there, I've done come to mind. I don't want nothing to do with a female. I just want to figure out how to be an adult and learn how to be a dad. And I look at this friend request, and I'm like, I'm not accepting this. This chick's a square. She's a kindergarten teacher. She ain't no cursing. I mean, I'm coming out long term. I'm not going to lie, in that mindset, it's been a year. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at this lady's profile 3 times, 3 different days in a row, and I'm like, I am not adding this chick. Finally, God said, you better add her, stupid. And I added her, and he puts a kindergarten teacher in my life who's got 3 more daughters. She's never smoked a cigarette before, right? What's she know about addiction? Me, what I tell her. Stephanie, she doesn't know the guy you knew. Never met him, right? She's the first woman I've ever been with I've never put my hands on, right? I'm just being honest. I don't know that I've ever raised my voice at her. Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, we're going to. But I'm saying, that's because Christ, right? Now I'm in this walk with Christ. This past Sunday, I was given a sermon in the Christian County Jail, right? And I'm not a special circumstance. The only thing special about me is I said yes to Jesus and no to dope, right? And I continue to make that my decisions. Does my life get easier? No. Was it getting better? Lots. Right? Because that truck that I woke up in is parked in the backyard of a house I have no business living in right now. Right? And I've got custody of my daughter. Right? I'm involved with the church family. Recovery is a big part of my life. Right? But God's a lot bigger. I know there's times where I have to make a meeting, but I can't miss church. Right? If I keep my decisions based on chasing Jesus like I used to chase the sack, I'll never get high again. Because every decision I make's based on Him, right? Man, that's really all I got, man. I'm blessed. And I appreciate you, Miss Jackie, and I appreciate your heart and what you do. That's all I got.
All right. I really love my day ones, the people I meet on their day one, because on day, how many years you got, Aaron? 5 years. 5 years later, you know, it's a complete transformation, and it's only Jesus. So the next speaker is my little niece. Her name is Autumn, but we call her Lulu. Come on up here, Lulu.
Hi guys. So I can't do what Aaron did. I'm going to have to read from my phone. It's not just going to come from the top of my head. But how is everybody doing today? Me too, absolutely. Well, some of you probably know me. I shared my testimony here last year as well. And if you don't, I'm Jackie's favorite niece. I can say that because none of the other ones are here right now, you know. But, so, I'm going to share a little bit of what I shared last year. And it is a poem. It starts with, "Don't baby the addict," they say, but today the addict is your dad. So instead of encouraging help, you sit silent and you become the punching bag. You become your mom's crying shoulder. Will it ever stop? Will you ever get to be a kid? Will your mom become your protector, or will you forever be hers? When you cry in silence, because who do you cry to about your broken home? You wait for someone to notice your silent cries, but you didn't realize how well you've learned to hide it. So now you're 13, staring down a full bottle of pills. Now the bottle is empty and your heart is racing and mind zoned out, hoping to take your last breath. Now look what you've done. Your grandmother's crying, wondering what else she could have done. My mom and sister crying over me in a hospital bed, concerned about what's going to happen. Now you're in a strange place that's supposed to help, but does it really? You go home worse off than you left home, except home feels the same way the strange place did. Confinement, constantly being watched, and all your things still taken. Your mom's holding you every night now, so you wonder if that's all it took for your mom to become a mother. That goes away after a week, though. Back to the way it used to be. So that's one poem, but I also wrote another one a little while ago, and I wanted to share this one with you guys this year. It is much smaller. It says, "Addiction runs deep like the roots of a tree, growing up with my family. I was always told not to baby the addict, but all my life, that meant my daddy. I'd forgive and forget everything he'd done, but I was only 15, stressing about money. Doctors had told me to leave that worry to my mother, but who was going to worry about her? Every night, I cried out to Jesus. I'm an adult now with bigger responsibilities and don't have to deal with these things as much, but I still get affected by my dad being in active addiction. My father has missed both my wedding and my son's funeral, and if you know me, being a mother is one of the most important things to me. And after lots of crying and prayers, me and my husband get that chance to be parents again next year. I'm not as angry about it anymore. God took most of my anger away. It's turned into praying for my dad and praying that he gets the help he needs, because even after all of that, I'm still terrified to lose my father from addiction. There is also another important person in my life that has struggled with some addiction, and that is my pop-pop. While my father missed my wedding, he was the one who walked me down the aisle. While my father missed my son's funeral, he was the pallbearer. He actually completed the 30-day program at Genesis not long ago. Me and him were actually super close, but then his drinking started again. He became angry and mean to the point he was so mad at me for bringing my little boy in last year, and he told me that we had to leave his house. My nonna would call me. He was tell me he was asking why I never come to visit anymore, and all I could say is, why would I want to be around that? He started doing better, and he got back to the same pop I've always known and loved, but he has recently relapsed, and he recently got a phone. He's never had a phone, and he calls me probably 15 times a night, and I find myself ignoring that phone call, something I would have never done a couple of years ago, but I don't need that stress in my life. Some may say it's been a rough life, but for me, I'll say it's been a life full of lessons, problem solving, chaos, and prayer. Whoever is out there that needs to hear this, I love you and I'm praying for you.
And she comes from a long line of addiction and alcoholism. Most of her family members are in addiction. She's breaking the generational curse of she has not used drugs and alcohol. She does not go to jail, and she's going to be the godly mom for her baby that she needed growing up.
Hello. Oh, that's loud. My name's Kara, and we are at Luke's Mission. We are raising awareness for fentanyl and overdose. Behind me is our Kentucky banner of all of our angels that we have recently lost in the past 3 years. This is not all of Kentucky. That is just what all we could get. But that banner is a lot bigger than what it's supposed to be, and it's very sad to lose everyone. Also, we are having a walk if you want to participate into it. I just had an escort, but I was just told that we have to use the sidewalks and the crosswalks. We cannot use the road like we did last year, which is a little disappointing, but we're going to keep doing it. It's not going to stop us. So if you would like to join after we get done, everybody's going to line up right here. We're going to start walking down the sidewalk, down the crosswalk, back up. I don't know the roads. We'll go a street over and then come back down here. Well, we will end. And next year, or after we get done, you can come see me. If you want your angel put on the board, we can do that as well. And I will show them off next year so everybody else can be seen, because these are our people. They didn't deserve what happened to them, and they deserve to be remembered. So I hope all y'all join us. I'm also going to let Miss Stephanie come up and speak about her daughter Macy. She's on the board here with Lucas, and she's going to give y'all a perspective on what it's like to lose a child to an overdose. So here she is.
Hi, my name is Daphne Smith. I lost my daughter Macy Smith 3 years ago to a misclassified fentanyl overdose. It should have been classified as a fentanyl poisoning. This is what fuels my passion to educate others. We must acknowledge that fentanyl's devastating impact extends beyond addiction. My daughter was not an addict. She took
It's okay, baby. Take your time. Take your time.
She took one pill, and that one pill killed her. So I just want you to know that fentanyl is claiming innocent lives. Just one pill, or anything for that matter. That's all it takes. But Macy's story is what inspires me to promote awareness and to get this off of our streets. Thank y'all.
Okay, so we're going to start proceeding to do the walk. If you want to be a part of it, you can start lining up right here, and we'll start walking down to the sidewalk.
I am not okay. I'm barely getting by. I'm losing track of days, losing sleep at night. I am not okay. I'm hanging on the rails. So if I say I'm fine, just know I learned to hide it well. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows, I know, when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be alright. I woke up today, I almost stayed in bed, had the devil on my back and voices in my head. So Some days it ain't all bad. Some days it all gets worse. Some days I swear I'm better off laying in that dirt. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows, I know when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. I know one day we'll see the other side. The pain will wash away in a holy water tide, and we all gonna be alright. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows, I know when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be alright. I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright.
Here in a few seconds, we're going to release our balloons. I wish I would have brought markers so we could have wrote a message. But the balloon is released by the person you lost. So each balloon here represents an angel that has gone. So on the count of 3, we're going to release our balloons. 1, 2, 3.
It's going.
Slowly.
Nope, it's coming back down.
I can grab
Oh!
It'll go. It'll go.
Why are they going down?
It looks so. Oh, there's a green one.
Legs and panties are coming down.
No, they're not.
All the way over here.
That was Lucas. That was Lucas. That was Lucas.
That's what he said.
Is that the one y'all released?
Yes.
Nana did.
Oh, yep, that would be him.
It's like, I'm gonna hang out for a minute. Oh yeah. But he's still he's lingering.
All eyes on you, Luke. Come back.
Oh, yep, he is. Oh, there he comes. Boy, that green one done skyrocketed.
Stay still.
I want to say, even though there were some little glitches and some things that didn't go like it did last year, go this year, I'm still going to continue to do this every year. I'm not going to stop. Might be a different month, might be a different season, but it's going to happen. And I'm not going to let any obstacle get in the way, because Luke wouldn't have wanted us to forgive up, and I don't plan on it. Nope. So,
We're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Nope. We're just going to keep the good fight.
He's a multi-millionaire.
I think that's it.
That's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Just wave.
It's a wrap for year 2.